Syria says one of its military air bases has been attacked.
Russia has once again warned the United States not to take military
North Korea's nuclear and missile capability has posed the toughest foreign policy.
We're having a meeting today on Syria, and we're having a number of meetings today. We'll see what happens. We're obviously looking at that very closely, and I will be leaving here. I was there, and now I'll be going back as soon as this meeting is over. But we're looking very, very seriously, very closely at that whole situation, and we'll see what happens, folks. We'll see what happens. It's too bad that the world puts us in a position like that, but as I said this morning, we've done a great job with ISIS. We have just absolutely decimated ISIS, but now we have to make some further decisions, so they'll be made fairly soon. Thank you all very much.
Assad's forces have long been protected by Russia, which has thousands of troops in Syria and sophisticated air defenses deployed in the country. Russia now vowing to shoot down any incoming U.S. missiles. The White House says it will soon reach a decision about how to respond to a chemical attack in Syria they say was instigated by the government of Bashar al-Assad. It will apparently reach that decision, even though so far we do not have proof that Assad was behind it. Of course, we'll keep you posted. If the U.S. does intervene in Syria, however, it could rapidly put this country in direct conflict with Russia, which for many years has backed the Assad regime. And unlike Assad, Russia has a vast arsenal of nuclear weapons. So what is likely to happen? What should we be worried about? Stephen Cohen is an editor at The Nation, a professor emeritus of Russian studies at NYU and Princeton, one of the most famous professors of Russian studies there is, and he joins us tonight. Professor, thanks for coming on. How worrisome, you've followed the relationship between the U.S. and Russia for decades, how worrisome is this moment?
More worried than I've ever been for nearly 50 years of studying and participating in U.S.-Russia relations. I think the situation, your generation was born after the Cuban Missile Crisis, but you were taught in school, as were my children, that the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 was the moment when we came closest ever to nuclear war with Russia. And the learned lesson was supposed to be, we should never get there again, and we are very close, and here's why. If Trump or somebody sends these missiles against Syria, there are Russian soldiers embedded in almost all Syrian army units, even in dormitories. If, and this I know because Moscow has said so, if Russians die, if Damascus is attacked, the capital of Syria, Russia will retaliate with its excellent weapons, every bit as good as ours. Some people say in some regards, in missile technology better. Russia will strike. Americans in Syria will die. And we will be where we have never, ever, ever been with Russia, killing each other, bearing in mind that both nations are laden with nuclear weapons. So I am more worried than I have ever been in my life.
But we know who did this. Our allies know who did this. Russia can complain all it wants about fake news, but no one is buying its lies and its cover-ups. Russia was supposed to guarantee that Assad wouldn't use chemical weapons, and Russia did the opposite. The world must not passively accept the use of chemical weapons after almost a century of their prohibition. Everything the United Nations stands for is being blatantly defied in Syria with the help of a permanent member of this council. All nations and all people will be harmed if we allow Assad to normalize the use of chemical weapons.